Hey, ladies and gentlemen, we are live in for another presentation on the phrase currency pTGC UFO. Who's going to show up today? Who's going to show up and chat? Who's going to show up and let me know that? Let me say something. You can hear me, see me. Drop something in the chat. You Hope everybody's doing great today. I'm doing great today. If I'm manning up, we're doing it too. We're going to crush it. That's the cycle. I was just rambling to somebody moments ago about, I have some friends that are not great, and they're more over on Ethereum. That's great. Love Ethereum. Not again. But I'd like to see them move raise a bit, exposure. And as I was talking, I was realizing something. You ever realize stuff while you're talking? I was like, well, they are going to experience gains on Ethereum. Like Ethereum, let's say it goes to 15 grand this cycle. I think a 5x. It's great for Ethereum. So everything's over it's going to do really well. Ethereum's going into its third cycle. LP'ing is in its first cycle. More speculative, but 5x propulsion is failure for powder return. That claims to 300,000. You know what that is today? $30 billion. I don't think it wants to publish. I don't think he wants to be accused of it. But he has the ability. And there's no pulse chain right now. Oh, and pulse chain, you know what that would do? Go to pmp.app, find out. Put it in the chat. Put the results in the chat. Hey, Kurt, this sounds messed up. Can you hear me at all? Sounds messed up. Let me see. Oh, I know. All right, we fix this. I bet that's better. I have my mic switched. Input is on. Oh, here we go. I bet that's good. How's that, Kurt? Input is on. Input's on this now. Yeah, I had issues. Oh, cool. Okay, good. I had issues at the end of last week, and I had to do some maintenance on my computer. And I had forgotten that I changed my settings on this, on my audio. So makes me wonder how spaces went. How are we doing spaces? We had spaces called yesterday. Weird. Because the settings were the same yesterday on spaces. Whatever. It is what it is. Thanks, Kurt, for letting me know. I was just saying, man. Ethereum 5x, whole thing. Who knows? 100x? 5x. Even if it, oh, man. So I'm hoping some of my buddies come over. And I know there's a lot of crossover, cross pollination. I'm excited for the cycle. Let's have a look. I mean, right now, well, we had an exciting week. Let's not forget. We had $112,000 Bitcoin. We thought we were going to see $100,000 Bitcoin last cycle. It didn't happen already this cycle. So that's good news. And pretty quiet. We had new Bitcoin all-time high, and then we had Sui. Sui got wrecked last week. But that we tweeted from the main Twitter and targeted. We used some of the SUI hashtags, and we got some really good impression rates. So, I mean, we made the best of it. Waiting for the banana man, the banana man. Yeah, and we, well, I think we need to get Bitcoin pump first, right? So what happens is this is how it happens, right? Is Bitcoin pumps, and once it starts peaking out, and people are saying, well, it's about topped out, and then it flows into Ethereum, right? And it pumps, and then it kind of tops out, and then it flows into the altcoins, right? Well, there was some movement. Somebody moved, was it 55,000 over from, yeah, from Ethereum over to, across the bridge. Was that this week, today, yesterday? And I saw it in Telegram. But if you guys want to link me to that, that'd be cool. But we're gonna, I am very good. We just need to be patient. Patiently hodl, right? Patiently hodl. Let's see what's cooking over on the charts. Let's have a look. I built two, two new illustrations. Can't stay on his bedtime. Just thought I'd say, hey, David, good to see you, man. Bedtime. My bedtime's not for another 5 Yeah, but how was your bedtime, right? You know, if you don't mind sharing, where are you guys? I was thinking about that earlier today. Where are you guys? I'll tell you where I am. I'm in Northwest United States, Northwest. So, I mean, um, yeah, guys, pTGC, the king coin on the Pulse Network. It is always up token. It's interesting in spaces yesterday. We were calling something that hadn't been brought to my mind before. He was choppy. Kid? Okay, got it, David. Cool. Um, he was choppy again. It's choppy. Well, that's a real bummer. Let me close some tabs. Okay, I'm going to close this. Sometimes if I have too much stuff open, it will cause problems. So hopefully this, I got to download this. All right, tell me how the audio is, guys, if you don't mind. And while you guys do that, I gotta download this and upload it to my StreamYard because I made a couple new slides and I want to show them to you. So give me a second while this downloads, and then you guys let me know how the audio is because hopefully it improved. Honestly, bear with me. I'm downloading, and then I just gotta. As soon as it's done downloading, I'll upload it to StreamYard. Give me a second. It gives me a chance to get some water. Hold on, guys. Now I'm going to upload it. It's better now. Cool. Hey, let me know if it chops out again because I do want to make sure that you guys can hear me. All right, give me a second. I got to present slides and I got to upload from my computer. 2 new slides, guys. One, if you were watching Twitter this week, you would have seen it. And the other one is one that I've been saying, but I'm going to show you. It's a visual. It's a visual. And I think visuals are more impactful. So what do we got? What do we got? Cool. Thanks, Joel. All right. Let's look at, I didn't even bring pTGC to the front. pTGC. How are we doing? This is in USD. Let's look at the daily. I always pretty much look at the daily unless the price is really moving, and then I'll flip it to the 4 hour, something like that. But here we are in the daily, but this is PLS. Let's look at it in USD. course, I'm going to say it's looking pretty good. It's my token. Okay. It's your guys' token too, probably. How come does that chart look funky to you guys? It did for a second. All right. Guys, look at that. It's up and to the right. I mean, hello. We have our corrections. Look at that correction from the end of November, from the beginning of November down to, I mean, a whole month, and it was down, down, down. Well, of course, it just launched, But then so it's up and to the right. This looks to me, guys, like a good buy zone. I remember this all last year, all last summer. It was just tick, 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 tick down. I don't know if you guys are here, but it was pretty brutal. And then we started moving up. It's crypto. It's going to behave like that. And then against WPLS, we were up to 24 or so, like in the middle of February, and then it's been downtrend since. But you're not going to sense any bearishness in the tone of my voice because I am 1,000% optimistic. We're going to crush it. I mean, look, we're down. I mean, against Pulse even, and we're down 56% against Pulse. So what? We're going back. We are going back, guys. I mean, this is the ratio, 9.6 Pulse per pTGC. And I don't know if you guys know this. This is for new people also. So look at pTGC and UFO versus the other pairs. You can go look at. I'll try to slow down here. Look at the other pairs. Just click other pairs and look at all the pairs that pTGC is paired with. But look at them in terms of not USD, but WPLS, and you'll see it'll be an interesting experiment. I've done it a few times. And every time I did it, it left an impression on me. Last Sunday, we compared PulseX and Inc. I think some of you guys were here. And I was like, why am I holding those tokens when I can hold this one? And I effectively hold a better token that can be flipped back into PulseX or Inc. And that was just PulseX and Inc. I think it was Inc. Could have been Hex. I think it was Hex. And that's not a slight. We're bonded with the best of the best Richard Heart tokens for a reason. We love Richard Heart. We love his chain. We love his tokens. And we're counting on his tokens to take us to the moon. It's going to happen. So, but as a consequence, we're doing very well against those tokens. Just incredibly. I don't know how, except for its alien tech. I'll show you the fee breakdown in that slide that I built, and you're going to see why we're up and to the right. It's the formula built into that 5%. That is the alien tech. That's the alien tech. I'll show it to you. So we covered the news, we covered the charts, we covered the ratios. Checking in. Howdy, dear peoples. Condor. You were on Spaces. If I remember right, you were on Spaces yesterday. So what's the difference between pTGC and UFO? I should have these in a slide. I know I do. I just gotta get them there. Well, pTGC is 5% fee. UFO is a 6% fee. pTGC's LP is burnt, like 95% of it. UFOs is community provided, like users pair their UFO with RH tickers, and that is the LP for UFO. pTGC's been around for about 20 months. UFO, 13 months or thereabouts. It actually UFO launched in May of last year, so it's a little over 1 year old. They're both deflationary. We like to call them hyperinflationary, but they're deflationary. Okay, I mean, anything better than the dollar is much better than the dollar. 12% plus of pTGC has been burned. 8% of UFO has been burned. What else we got? What are the highlights? There are 3,000 people in the Telegram. Okay, it's a unified Telegram. There are 14,000 pTGC wallets, 6,000 UFO wallets. What else is there? Oh, the way the rewards are paid are different. Okay, if you hold either of these tokens, you earn reflections. That's the same. You earn reflections for holding these tokens. and we will talk about where the fees go, because that's where the reflections come from, is from the fees. We'll talk about that. You can farm with UFO to earn pulse, or you can just hold it to earn reflections. And if you're holding to earn reflections, you're going to earn a lot of reflections, because the people that are LP'ing their UFO is not earning reflections. So that's a key point about UFO. Let's see. A UFO has twice the LP with RH tickers than pTGC does. Twice the LP. I mean, this is as of about 10 days ago. I haven't checked. And it changes from day to day. But it's not going to change that much just from last week. So, yeah. UFO is a big contender. It wasn't just an afterthought. Yeah, it may have been an afterthought, but it wasn't just like, well, we're going to try to, we're going to add a little utility to this pTGC and just build UFO. No, it's a monster on its own. So it's not to be underestimated. Moon math. K-Flow wants the moon math. Yeah, we're going to do that. We do that every time, K-Flow. This, just so you guys know, this is an introduction. I try to keep this very, very simple. It's an introduction to pTGC and UFO. Do it twice a week, literally. It's what I can do. I can repeat. We want a place. We want to have a place where people that are new can come in and get educated and understand what they hold. Right? I had nothing like that going into Hex. Nothing like that going into many different ecosystems where I could go and just ask a prairie banana any questions. Don't be embarrassed about anything in the ecosystem. So ask your questions. And honestly, I don't think we're getting a lot of adoption right now. We were pushing 40 new wallets a day about 4 months ago, and now we're down to about maybe 5, something like that. But there are still new people, and yours truly gets to practice, right? Because when retail comes, they're going to be looking for a place to understand what they hold. Like a lot of you guys are the OGs. Listen, we are the OGs of this cycle. If you're here, especially if you've been here a while, like I don't want to put a time frame on it, but if you've been here a while and you got your feet under you in crypto, you are a 2025-26 bull cycle OG. That's my opinion. Yeah. So where was I going with that? Somebody tell me. Let's watch this. Let's have a look at this volume chart. I got my charts mixed around here. No, I don't. Yes, I do. Hold on. I'm going to show you the old one. If you guys been here before, you've seen this one. This one of my favorites. All right, this is the grays versus RH cores. Look at the green line, the very, very volatile green line. That's UFO. The next one down is pTGC, the gold one. And then the 4 core orange tickers. Hex, PulseX, Inc., and Pulse at the bottom. When notice any slight upward movement in the core tickers caused an exaggerated movement in the grays currencies. That's an impressive chart, guys. And I'm looking forward to getting an update from the artist, if I can call him that. He would laugh. From the artist, but I'm waiting for a pump. Like I want to go beyond the previous all-time high and see where we are. Because this one is actually from the end of January, so it's almost 4 months out of date. But look, it's beautiful, so I don't want to replace it yet. Can you blame me? All right, now check this one out. All right, let's see. I'm gonna remove this for a second. Okay, I told you guys that I have been telling you, because I finally learned for myself, that the alien tech behind pTGC, and I've tried to figure this out for UFO also, and it might be a good conversation for spaces tomorrow. But like does UFO have a formula like this, where there is of the fees, there's literally more going into the system than can be extracted from the system. It's genius, guys. You've got more, okay, just from the fees, 5% fee. We're going to break it down. We should do that. Let's do that. I want to break down the fee. Since we're about to talk about it, you guys can see it at pTGC.com. Here it is. 0.5% buys and burns pTGC of every transaction, guys. A buy, sell, or transfer. 0.5% burns tokens. 0.5% is added to liquidity with Pulse. So it pairs pTGC and Pulse. 2% goes to the DAO. 1% is paid to holders and stakers. 1% is paid to stakers. You see that's a 2. That's 2% out of the 5. And that's 3% out of the 5. So you got a 3-to-2 ratio. What does that mean? Well, you've got tokens being burned. That's ecosystem expansion. Can I use that term? It's really not the best term, but it's ecosystem improvement. 0.5% to the liquidity. That's definitely ecosystem expansion and improvement. 2% of the DAO, which always either buys tokens or makes new pairs and burns those tokens, adding LP, which is both of those are ecosystem expansion and improvement. Okay, and that's 3%. Then you get the 2% to holders and stakers, and that's in the form of tokens which can be extracted from the system, and people do that. I'm going to do that. Everybody, should take some profit at some point. Otherwise, why are we here? So you got 2% that can be extracted, and you've got 3% going in. Do you follow me on that? All right, let's look at this illustration here. Let me get this pulled up. Here it is, illustrated. This is what you got here, guys. You got 3% over here on the left going into the system and 2% on the right. That's your visual. So 5% going into the system and only 2% can go out. What does that mean? To me, it means the system will always be growing. And if I'm tied to that system, then I am growing by proximity. Yeah, man, I want to be tied to the hip to something that's going somewhere. pTGC is going somewhere. And it happens day in, day out, with every single transaction, whether it's a human buy or a bot. You guys know how this works, right? You've got all these LP pairs. Let's say Hex has 10 different LPs, and one of those is with pTGC Hex. Well, if one of its pairs goes out of balance, then the AMM bots have to go fix all of those pairs, right? And that one with Hex pTGC, suddenly, of course, it's getting balanced with all those other 9 pairs. And so all the other pTGC pairs have to be balanced with this one. What does that mean? Well, those AMM bots are buying and selling tokens, paying the tax every time they buy and sell tokens. So day in, day out, this 5% fee is being paid by automated market maker bots and by humans that are buying and selling tokens. So we're reducing supply, added to LP, paying the DAO, paying holders, stakers, day in, day out. It never stops. There has not been a day. There has been days where literally I haven't received any yield, but that's just because it was held up in the contract because the gas was too high, and the contract's going to wisely wait until the price gas comes down, then it transact. And it happened earlier this week. And was I concerned? Not at all. It happens day in and day out. So it's a beautiful system, guys. I don't know if you guys are been here a while, you understand, but for the new people, sometimes that'll ring their bell. Rung my bell when I came into the pTGC and I saw that this stinking thing can run automatically without me, without users, and I still get paid, constantly raising price floor and burning supply. And it's like, what in the world? This is like next level. next level tech. In an age where humans are seeking automation, we always are. But now we've got AI. What else we got? I don't know. All kind of exciting stuff. We have AI and we have pTGC and UFO. First of its kind, first in its class, on pulse chain, Richard Hart's baby that is going into its first run. And we're going to see K-Flow with the moon math, where this could perhaps go with a certain number of X's. All right, so there's that one. Hold on, guys. I got to get my... We did that one. All right, now I'm going to show you this. Watch this, guys. All right, did you see my tweet? Well, it was from the main account earlier this week. Look at this. And if you guys want to do a fun experiment, pop this into the ChatGPT. I think I already did. I know that. I know I already did. But if you guys want to do an experiment, we could do it right now. That'd be fun. But this presentation actually takes so much time. But feast your eyes on this. Since August, okay, between August and April, pulse chain volume 3x'd, but its price dropped by 38%. pTGC's volume 8x'd, and its price increased by 533x. So the question is, you put this into ChatGPT, and you say, okay, what's going to happen when pulse chain price increases by 100x? I mean, do it. I'm so excited to try this. I've already done it. Oh man, guys, I'm talking myself into it. All right, watch this. Watch this. All right. Okay, I'm gonna share my screen. We're gonna have some fun. Okay. Actually, I gotta do it over here. I can't show you. I can't show the screen, and actually, let me see if I can. All right. Hold on a second, guys. Yeah, I've got to do it this way. All right, watch this. Okay, I'm in ChatGPT. Okay, pulse chain. Hello, future millionaires. Hey, we missed you last Sunday, I think it was, or the Sunday before. Volume 3x'd. Its price dropped 38%, yet pTGC volume, this is interesting, 8x'd. Its price increased 533%. I'm gonna max this thing out. Its price is now $.000. I'm gonna call it 4. What would the price of pTGC be if pulse chain's price? I wonder if we can even do this. 100x. Yeah, I don't know if I got this all in there right. Let's see. Oh wow. Okay. If pulse chain's price were to increase by 100x, the price of pTGC would likely be around 0.25, based on its current relationship with price and volume. Okay, now let's flip that over to the moon math. K-Flow, we're getting into it a little early. Okay. And what would its volume? What would pTGC's volume be? Please tell me $10 million. I would love that. What? If pulse chain's price increased by 100x, the predicted volume for pTGC would be 800 times the current volume. No. 800 times 100,000. Okay, we're getting into impossibility land. All right, 800 times, let's call the volume 10,000. That'd be $8 million in volume. Okay. So it'd be $80 million in volume if it was based upon $100,000 in volume. Okay, so let's go to the moon math, and we're gonna see how close it is. We'll just keep that at 2, make that 100x, and they had 25 cents, and this is 8 cents. Okay, well, who would turn down 8 cents or 25 cents, right? So, I mean, not me. I'm happy either way. Well, happier obviously with 25 cents. Yeah, I think anybody would argue that they're happier with the 25 cents. So okay, we got into that. Okay, and you guys, I mean, if you guys want to screenshot that, you can. I think that's impactful. So look at the bottom, where could this put pTGC when pulse chain runs? When pulse chain runs, where is pTGC going to be? It's going to be going beyond the moon, we hope. So, all right. So what separates pTGC from, who wants to answer in the chat? You guys don't answer in the chat. I'm learning not to ask the chat, but I'm still going to do it. Some of you guys might like to. What separates pTGC from other fee-based tokens? What separates it? All right, drink time. You guys can answer. I'm going to take a drink, and then I'm going to answer if you hadn't yet. It's the DAO. The DAO is what separates pTGC from other fee-based tokens. Because that DAO, the 2% out of 5, 2% out of 5 is 40% of the total fee. 40% is going into it's going into a treasury. It's completely decentralized, but we get to make decisions with it. And it can be a lot of money. I mean, out of a $1,000 transaction, $50 is paid in fees. 40% of that $50, 30 bucks, 20 bucks, whatever, a number of bucks. Don't do math on stream. So, and then you have transactions going day in and day out. That treasury money really adds up. And we love our machines in pTGC and UFO because they pay us and they work for us diligently without effort. I almost said effort, and it's actually really kind of true. They never give us any pushback or complain, but really they're machines and they don't think, they just do. But the money that comes into the treasury, humans are making decisions with it. Humans have the ability to foresee the future, whereas the machines, they don't. Humans have the ability to make decisions for today based on history. Okay? The machines, they don't have that ability. So 40% of that $50 is going toward the treasury for humans to make decisions. And that is what separates pTGC from other fee-based tokens that don't have a DAO. I mean, and most of them do not have a DAO. So that's pretty cool. And that is one of the secret sauces of pTGC. pTGC, guys, if you didn't know this, it is an index token. Let's have a look at, secretobank.com by my buddy, Snowflake Society. Don't see him around much anymore. Probably retired on his pTGC. I'm just joking. But let's have a look at, I did a video on this, guys. If you want to see like a full-blown video about how this works, how this Secreto Bank works, just go to my channel and I made a video about it. So what you do is you go to secretobank.com, click on volume. Hey, Eddie, sound much more quiet than usual. Have full max volume and it's quiet. Oh, really? We're having issues again. Okay, can somebody confirm this? I'm checking my settings. I'm set to the, let me check my audio settings 1 second. Well, and if somebody else could confirm what's going on here. Let me just check my settings on my computer here real quick. Input volume. I don't know where it's supposed to be, but alert volume, input. Maybe I need to increase it. Did that improve it? Did that improve it, Adi? Or does it working okay for you, Kurt? Okay, I'm just going to leave it right there. Kurt, you said it was working okay. Is it still working okay? Because I increased the input volume just a little bit. So, okay, so secretobank.com, select pTGC, check volume. And I know you're checking the volume, but honestly, you can see all the pairs, most of them. Cool, thank you, Kurt. You can see most of the pairs. And really this illustrates to, I'm using this to illustrate to you that pTGC is an index of all of these tokens. These are liquidity pairs. You can sort. It has a $2.5 million LP with UFO, $1.8 million with WPLS, and growing. Remember, with every transaction, 0.5% is adding to that pool. And at 100x, guys, if Pulse Chain 100x's, that pool will be $1.8 billion. I think it'll be $1.8 billion. If I've got my math right. And then a $1.1 million pool with Burn, $1 million pool with PulseX, and then Hacks, Tropa. Okay, why is that exciting? Why am I drawing your attention to that? Because, and it's the same for UFO. They're an index of the best tickers on Pulse Chain. And there have been famous financial, like rich people in history that have been big proponents of buying indexes, because by buying one thing, you essentially are buying many others, right? Like you could go, okay, let's say you had $1,000 and you're like, I'm going to put this $1,000 in Pulse Chain, and you go and put it on a Tropa. Well, you got you some Tropa, but you could have bought pTGC and been paired, and because pTGC is paired with the Tropa and Pulse, PulseX, Hex, PDI, most token, Bear, you hope by holding pTGC, you hold all of those other tokens and a Tropa. Okay, so you're kind of spreading your assets in a sense. So that's one of the reasons that pTGC and UFO are great for people that are brand new to the chain, because they can start here. They can literally start with the Grays currencies that have alien tech built in, that are rewarding them day in and day out, and they don't have to go research and find out about a bunch of other tokens. They can literally just get into these and just chill and relax and go explore Pulse Chain and find out how it works and who Richard Hart is, and then explore some of these other ecosystems and what's the term? Speculate on other assets if they want to. And I have done that. And guess what? I have come back to the Grays currencies. I think they're some of the strongest assets on Pulse Chain. I'm not blushing, guys. I'm serious as a heart attack. Quiet volume. Oh, Adi. Always is much louder. Better. But it's all good. Okay. I haven't changed anything. I have not changed anything. But I did some maintenance last Friday, but I don't go change my audio settings. Holding this token, I'm going to read this. Duffy Slice and Shank. Holding this token moves you to the head of the class when enrolled in the crypto university. Why go through all the growing pains when you can just become a part of this movement? Not NFA, but wink, wink. Yeah, I get you, Duffy. I appreciate your comments, man. That's so true. It moves you to the head of the class. Hey, somebody, I think it was last Sunday, said pTGC is the most trusted token on Pulse Chain. Yeah, you know why? Because it's been the best performer on Pulse Chain so far. I guess there might be some other better performers, but have they performed as consistently as Pulse Chain? Do they have a public founder? Semi-doxed, public, very, very reachable. You can talk to the founder. Do they have a public founder? Do they have six, public meetings per week where people can come in and ask questions and interact with the founder and such? I'm telling you guys, you talk about strategy for success. We're set, guys. We're set for success. And I appreciate you guys being here, listening to the same thing every week. I try to bring some new stuff. So it is these tokens, both UFO and pTGC are an index. And by the way, guys, I got to give some love to UFO. So let's go look at UFO. You just select UFO, check volume, and then here you go. And then you can sort. Sort. All right. I think that's it, man. Let's go to the DApp. To the DApp. So pulsetgc.com is where you're going to go. pulsetgc.com. There is another DApp, and it's at Look Into pTGC. Oh, okay. Okay, before we do this, guys, we have a request from the audience. Adi says, can you please check pTGC versus pDAI chart? Who did better price action from start launch? Because this is the chart we should compare. All right. From start of launch. Okay. Why should we be checking? Why is that the chart that we should compare, Adi, if you don't mind? So pTGC, I think we can just go to pTGC pDAI. Why don't we just go to pTGC pDAI? So here we are on pTGC, other pairs. You're going to see all the other pairs. I mean, I suppose would be some difference, but let's just do this chart first. And if this one works, then because this is an easy one for me to get to. Okay, this is the weekly, and this is pTGC versus pDAI. And if you discount like the first couple, first big run up, so let's go to the end of October to today. pTGC is up against pDAI 7,600%, 7,600%. That worked for you, Eddie? Cool. It makes sense to me. Yeah, okay, we're up 7,600% against pDAI. We've lost some ground. We've lost some ground against pDAI in the last few weeks, but what has pDAI been doing? What has Pulse been doing? We've lost ground against both of those. Well, both of those tokens are they're moving, and I'm happy that they're moving. So, yeah, it's crypto. It goes up the stairs and down the elevator, man. It's just how it is. All right, let's go to the DApp, guys. All right, I'm going to remove this comment. Thank you, ID, for the question. I really appreciate that. All right, we are on the DApp. So this is where you go. If you hold the Grace currencies, this is where you're going to go to interact with the contract. There's another place you can go, which is look into ptgc.com. And we're going to look at that. For the moon math, it also has a DApp. I think you got to pay for it, though. So, but this is like the community DApp. This is the one that's produced by, it comes with the pTGC. Not really. It doesn't really, but it sounds funny when you put it that way. All right, guys. So let's say you got your pTGC and you got your UFO. You got your bags, right? And you got them in your wallet. I hope you got them in your wallet. Where else would they be? And you're going to attach your wallet. You're going to connect your wallet to pulsetgc.com. Click on staking. And then you're going to come down here and, okay, we need to talk about some things. If you hold these tokens, you're going to earn reflections. That's the easy part. That's easy. And but there are two other things that you can do with pTGC and one with UFO. With pTGC, you can stake your tokens, and then you can also lock them. They're very different, but we're gonna walk through that. But if you hold these tokens and you're like, hey, I want to earn a little more APY, then you're going to want to stake. Be aware that if you end your stake, the beauty of it is there's no time commitment. Like you can stake forever or one day, whatever. But if you end your stake, you're going to pay 1% on your principal. So just be aware of that. There's no time restraints, and you can claim your yield at any time. You can claim your yield, put it back into another state. You can take it home with you, whatever you want to do. You can put it into a lock, whatever you want to do. If you have staked pTGC, you can lock it, and we're going to talk about that. But let's talk about staking first. So if you're holding tokens, then all you have to do is select the stake button, and then you can stake however much you want. All of it, part of it. There's no time period that you got to stake for. It's just a stake. One stake per wallet. It's pretty straightforward. If you wanted to claim rewards, like this wallet has earned 5,500 pTGC from staking since February 10th, then I can claim those rewards and they go straight into my wallet. Right now they're in the contract. They would go to my wallet and start earning reflections. If I wanted to end my stake, like say I wanted to sell my principal or move my principal, then I could withdraw, and then I'll pay 1%, the 1% fee on the principal, and that fee is paid to all the other stakers. So if you're a staker, that's pretty cool, because when people end their stakes, you get a part of their end stake fee. It's really not a penalty, it's just a fee. Everybody's hopefully going to end their stakes at some point, so it's a modest 1% fee, by the way. So that's staking. I think that's I think I explained all of it. I don't know how I explained all of it, but if I missed something, let me know. If I think of something, I'll let you know. The third thing that you can do with pTGC besides holding and staking is locking, which is very different than staking. The tokens need to be staked in order for you to lock them. Okay, you got to stake them first, then you can lock them. Locking needs to be approached very thoughtfully. Okay, I wouldn't do it at midnight after a long day. And you just discovered pTGC and you got into it and you're brand new, and that's what I did. And you go lock a big old bag. Probably not a good idea. You might actually be happy you did that in the end, but let's proceed a little more carefully, because locking is a huge commitment. Why? Because if you decide to end your lock early, because locking is a time commitment, if you unlock early, you're going to pay 30% on your principal. So just be careful. And I'm going to show you the locking tiers. There's one locking tier that you can do to where you can lock up your pTGC, still make rewards, and then it gives you 90 days to think about it, about what you want to do for locking. So let's have a look at the locking tiers. Give me a second. I've got so much slides, so many slides pulled up that it's going to be a little confusing, but here we go. Here's the locking tiers. So the 90-day lock earns you 55% of the locking reward. So when somebody early ends their lock, they pay, the 30% penalty, and then that 30% penalty goes to all the other lockers. Okay, and it comes into the wallet as it looks like yield, and it is. So if you're in a 90-day, if you're in the 90-day tier, which is, I think is tier 10, you're going to keep 55% of those rewards, like when you claim them. Okay, when you claim the rewards, 55% goes to your wallet, 45% goes to the burn address, which burns the tokens, reducing the supply. It's really cool. Oh, and by the way, if you're a top 3-4 wallet holder, it's time for you to claim your locking rewards. Check this out, guys. check this out. Figured this out on Spaces yesterday. Oh, guys, this is interesting. Give me a second. I'm going to pull this up. All right, check this. Okay, listen. I conducted an experiment this morning and found that if the unclaimed locking rewards in the top 4 wallets were claimed, it would send 50 million tokens to the burn address. 50 million, wiping out 1.7 dolphin positions. If all holders claimed their locking rewards, I estimate we could burn around 130 million tokens or 4.5 dolphin positions. The system currently burns about 4 million tokens per day. So we're burning 4 million tokens per day, but we could potentially burn 130 million tokens in one day if everybody would claim their tokens, especially those big dogs at the top. The top, you're busted, guys. I don't know who you are, but I was checking out your wallets yesterday. You guys, you better claim your stuff, man. No, I can't tell you what to do. And I'm really not upset. But I'm like, I want to burn those tokens, you know? So, yeah, 130 million tokens, guys, like 4.5 dolphin positions we can burn if those guys and everybody, honestly, would claim their tokens. So, once a week, once a month, once in a while, but never. Come on. All right, guys, just have a little fun. We need to have some fun around here. It can get dull. All right. Where was I? Okay, we're talking about locking. So, yeah, be careful with your locking. Here's the tiers. I want to draw your attention to the top tier, which is the 10-year locks. Actually, 9 years and 1 day will put you in the 100%. 8 years and 1 day will put you in the 95%. You follow that, guys? And so on down. So the 10-year locks are the gold standard, 100%. So that of the 30% penalty that comes to your wallet that's sitting in the contract, ready for you to claim, you're going to keep all of it. That's sweet. That's sweet. And you're going to see, we're going to look at a calculator here in a little bit that's going to show you how sweet that can be. I'm very bullish on locking rewards, but honestly, we'll talk about it in a little bit. Okay, so there are some key differences we're going to chill for a second between holding and staking and then the locking rewards. Okay, these two are different than this one. Very different, because the reflections for holding and the staking rewards come to you whenever that contract executes, like that $1,000 purchase, and $50 is being distributed, in fees. Well, that is based on the price of pTGC today, right? Okay, because somebody buys pTGC today, and then 0.5% buys and burns pTGC today. Well, that's based on today's price. All right, it's pretty simple, but that's how reflections and staking rewards work. They're instant, right? Locking rewards are very different. Locking rewards are price agnostic. The contract, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what the value of the tokens are. It is going to distribute tokens. When somebody early end locks, the contract is going to distribute 30% of their principal. It doesn't matter what the principal is. It doesn't matter how much those tokens are worth. It's just going to distribute those tokens to everyone's wallet. Oh, the lockers. It goes to the lockers. If you're a locker, you will benefit from those tokens. Yeah, so that's the key difference. And that's a big difference in my opinion. So you can have multiple locks per wallet. This wallet only has one. It has 1 million pTGC. It's staked right here, see? It's staked, and it's also locked. And it's locked until February 7th, 2034 at 6 a.m. What else can I say? It has earned 3,653 pTGC since I harvested it on February 10th, 2025. Again, you can have multiple locks per wallet. You can do a locking ladder. A lot of people have done those. I did a locking ladder. which is an annual. I did an annual ladder, and I did some 10-year locks. I did a lot of 10-year locks, and then I did some 90-day locks. So I have a mix, and I did that because I want short. I want a short bag. It's a small bag, short, and then all the way across the 10 years, and then something big at the top, right? So that's how I did it. You got to decide on your own strategy, and even if you're going to lock it all, but after you see this calculator, it might whet your appetite for locking these tokens, because it could be juicy. It could be real good. Okay. So that covers pTGC. Are there any, let me look at the chat here. Look at the chat. Duffy, Silf and Shank, Slice and Shank. Sure, there are other performing tokens of blockchains, but none match the potential for the explosive growth like pTGC and Pulse Chain. Just a matter of time, boys. It's that simple. Get off, pound. Hashtag get off the fence. You're funny, dude. We all waiting for the moment for ETH to do his proper bull run. Yeah. ETH pump, then Pulse pump, then pTGC explode. Right? Yes! Exclamation. And no question marks after that. Yeah. That's right, ID. Future millionaire, multi-millionaire, right there. Let's go look at UFO. Give me a second. I'll close this. I wonder if it could be, the audio thing could be just because I have other stuff open. Let's look at UFO. Now, UFO it's simpler than pTGC, but just because it's simpler doesn't mean that we should underestimate the number of X's that it can do. We were on Spaces Saturday before last talking about it going to like $1.04. And that was based on, if Pulse Chain did what Ethereum did its first cycle, and that was like 8 years ago. So, sure, it's a comparison, but based on something, but yeah, anything can happen, guys. But I'm still going to stand by my statement of don't underestimate UFO. I think it's going to catch a lot of people off guard. Like the number of wallets that are being added to pTGC per day versus UFO, it's probably like 6 or 8 to 1. So, but I think UFO is going to have its day. And it's just very simple. You can do two things with it. You can hold the tokens to earn reflections, or you can LP with some RH token, some of your RH tokens. And there's like 6 of them. You want to make sure you LP from the DApp, because if you don't, you're going to forfeit rewards. The people that are LPing right now are earning about 5% APY more versus those that are holding. I mean, no, scratch that. Those that are holding right now are earning about 5 times more APY than those that are LPing. There. But LPing has a superpower. If pTGC's superpower is the locking, which you're going to see, UFO's superpower is the LPing because of the share rate that you get when you LP UFO. And I will show that to you because you guys need to understand the share rates. So you go to the same DApp. If you hold UFO and you're like, okay, I want to do some LPing with my UFO, same DApp, pulsetgc.com, click on UFO token, and then come over here to UFO liquidity pools. This is going to be real quick, guys. And we're going to get over to the share rate, and then we're going to move on to some other stuff like moon math. That's a great question, crypto world. I'll get to you in just a second. So you have 7 options. UFO and pTGC is probably not a good one because you're going to pay the tax going in for both of those tokens. Okay, you're going to pay the tax going in for both of them and coming out. So I am not doing that one. Some people did it by accident, but now we have this little notice here. Like, if you do this, you're going to pay, and that could be sad. So you can pair any of these other tokens, or if you want, obviously UFO and pTGC. In answer to your question, crypto world,
Great question. What's the best pair to LP UFO with? It actually doesn't matter which pair you pair with. They all reward the same. That's a common question. Glad you asked. Welcome to the Grays. They all, as far as rewards from the Grays currency ecosystem, all of them pay the same. Now, on the backside, on Pulse X, that's going to be a little different, and you're going to need to do your homework on that. I don't know. I mean, I would like to know. If somebody finds out what the the best rewarding pool is. Actually, I heard a few months ago, somebody told me that the UFO Pulse pool was like really doing well, but you'd have to go look that up. So yeah, they all pay the same. So it keeps it simple, right? I mean, you don't have to go flip out of some token to get into another one just because it pays better. But yeah, you're earning from the Grays ecosystem. You're paying that 3%. I gotta show that to you guys. Maybe it's down here. Where is it? Oh, I should always show this to you guys. I always forget. So the fee distribution, 3% goes to LP providers. 3%. 1% goes to holders of the UFO token paid in UFO. 1% buys and burns the UFO token, reducing the supply. 1% buys and burns pTGC. And guys, UFO burns the fire out of pTGC. You guys want to see it? You guys want to see how much this token? Oh, I'm not even showing my screen. Let me show this. Here's the fee distribution. It's at UFO token. Pulse chain, pulsetgc.com/UFO token. Here's the fee distribution. 3% to LP providers, 1% to holders, 1% buys and burns the UFO token, 1% buys and burns pTGC. All right, now I'm going to take this away. I just told you guys that UFO burns a lot of pTGC, and I've got the goods on it, guys. I've got the goods. Hold on. Watch this. Hey, y'all, watch this. All right, this is my little spreadsheet. And pTGC burned since September 18th, 2024. Okay, look at this one on the left. pTGC burned by pTGC. Down on the right, pTGC burned by UFO. Let's call that 925 million since September. pTGC has burned 925 million, but UFO has burned 2.4 billion. 2.4 billion burned by UFO. That's a big difference. So UFO burns a lot of pTGC, guys. So we love UFO. If you hold pTGC, you gotta love UFO. It's awesome. It's gonna be so cool in the future to see where this goes. I'm telling you, it's exciting stuff. All right, let's get back onto this DApp. We got to get to the share rate. UFO token, UFO liquidity pools. Select your pool. Click. Adding liquidity. Hey, Shaka. Adding liquidity is very simple. Select manage pool. Add liquidity. You're going to have equal values of each token. And then click add new liquidity. Sign the transaction in your wallet. And then come back to the DApp. Once you've signed it and select, I'm suggesting that you go back and go look and make sure that it actually happened. All right. You can look in your wallet to see if it transacted, but click on UFO token, UFO PLP rewards, and you're going to see that LP right here. And if you don't, then something happened. You need to go, redo it or something like that. So here is the UFO PLS LP. And if you hold liquid UFO in the wallet, then you're going to be earning reflections, and those are going to be reflected right here. And your PLS rewards for LPing will be down here. If you have multiple LPs, you can claim them all at the same time. Yes, if you LP UFO, you earn Pulse, which is a nice token to get, okay, to earn, to have a little cash flow. However, it is it's really not the alpha token, okay? Don't tell Richard Hart. He's not watching, I hope.
UFO is the alpha token here between, I mean, just go look at deck screener, guys. If you get mad, go look at the deck screener UFO pulse pair and see which one is doing better. I'm not going to take the time to do it. You do it. So you're earning pulse, that's great. I love pulse. You need it for gas. And hey, it's rewards, right? So you're earning it. You're earning money. I love cash flow, but it is pulse. UFO is moving up against pulse. So, in a sense, I'd rather just hold liquid UFO. But as you will see, as you're about to learn about share rates, you're going to want to have some share rates. So you're earning pulse, but that's going down against UFO. So it means another transaction, from my perspective, like, oh, okay, I got to flip this pulse into some UFO or pTGC or something else, that's going up against, because if I'm holding pulse, I don't have a big bag of pulse. I don't have a bag of pulse. Like, I got a couple few million laying around. That's it. I want my pulse in. On August 26th last year, if a guy had flipped all of his pulse into pTGC by today, he would have 10x'd his pulse. That's how serious this is, guys. 10x on your pulse. Yeah, hope you love your pulse. I like my pTGC, but I love pulse chain. Don't take me wrong. Don't take me wrong. Okay, so share rates. When you enter an LP, UFO Pulse, UFO Inc., any of these pairs, when you enter an LP, you're going to be assigned a share rate. It's right here. I really need to fix this one because it's not quite 1 million. It bothers me. So you are assigned a share rate based on the number of UFO that you put into the pool. Okay, you put in 1 million UFO, you're going to get a million UFO shares. It's the share rate that determines your yield. Your share rate does not change. This is LP, so it can be a little bit of an animal. You're going to probably, if UFO continues to move against pulse, you are going to continue to lose UFO, which is sad. But you gain more of the other pair, but you're gonna lose UFO. But your share rate won't change. It'll remain fixed unless you un-LP, and then you might be disappointed. Okay, did a little experiment on this thought. A few weeks ago, did an experiment. Like, okay, I've got this 1 million UFO share, UFO share LP right here, this very one. If I unpaired it and then decided I want that share rate back, and I wanted to repair it, what would it cost me? 2.6 times more, because the UFO was down from 1 million to 250,000. So I had to buy 750,000 UFO, and then I have to have an equal value in the paired token. So all in all, it would have cost me 2.6 times more to if I unpaired to get that paired to get the share rate back, the 1 million UFO share rate back. It would cost me 2.6 times more. So the shares are the superpower of the UFO token, because as we go up cycle, and we're trying to figure this out, like, I'd love to have like a calculator that would show me, the unpairing and the repairing and all that stuff. Maybe I can figure it out. I'm hoping my buddy will help me figure it out, or build a calculator, because I really want to be able to illustrate, like we can with locking rewards and the moon math and all that. I want to be able to illustrate the power of these share rates by forecasting, right? Because I think they're really going to be, the word escaped me. They're going to be sought after, the UFO shares. I think, and I hope, but I really want to be able to demonstrate it, So if you get exposure to UFO shares, you may want to hang on to them and just see what happens. And maybe we can get a little calculator built too, and then you can foresee what could happen, right? Because my UFO shares, I haven't touched any of them. I'm not touching them. They're too precious. There's too many unknowns. Yes, I know I'm losing UFO because than permanent loss. Yes, I know I could be earning more UFO if I was completely liquid, but I've just got a hunch. Nothing to do with any friends of mine. But really, I think that UFO has a superpower built into it, and it's the share rate. So, and I'm good either way. I'm a happy camper. What else we got to talk about? Hey, let's talk. We forgot to talk about gear last week. Let's go to the gear tab. All right, we haven't been there a while. And then we'll do the moon math. Yeah, we'll do the moon math. Hold on, guys. I'm looking at my notes here. Okay, so on the tab, you go to Gray's gear. We're going to skip the Dow. You guys can look at the Dow stuff and all those other tabs if you want later. But let's talk merch. Forget the Dow. Let's talk about merch. You guys can buy ball caps, beanies. It's really not the season for beanies, is it? It's ball cap season, t-shirt. I mean, hoodies are going in the closet for the summertime. And mugs, now you're going to be needing some of these, right? Maybe some bigger ones for the summertime. Playing cards, mugs. What do we got here? Desk mats. Oh, for your like a mouse or something like that. And stickers. And guys, I got, it doesn't have a scratch on it yet. Really. I don't know how they paint that in there, you know, but they're able to, I mean, you can run your finger on that and you can't feel anything. It's amazing how they did that, but it looks good. I mean, that's a great looking phone. I had a good phone case, but I was like, I saw this on the gear site. I was like, oh, I've got to have it, and I love it, guys. It's lit, and those are on the site also. Let me just make sure. We used to have pickleball paddles, but there they are. $20, guys. $20 for the Alien Tech Touch phone case, and they got for all kind of models of phones. All right, yeah, that's for fun, guys. I don't make any money off that. It's just, I mean, if you would get some joy out of having an Alien Gears whatever hat, hoodie, phone case, stickers, that's why I show you that stuff. Do I think we're going to onboard people at the gym because they saw you have an Alien Gear thing on the back of your phone? No, I don't think so. But it's just fun. It's just fun. For me, man, I got me a roll of stickers and they were going all over the place, all over the house, on top of things, underneath things. My wife was like, get that off my laptop. It's just fun. All right, enough fun. We did that. Let's do stats. Oh, we can go over some stats. We got time for that. Let's see where we're at, guys. Okay, look into ptgc.com. I'm going to put it in here in the chat. ptgc.com. If you want to subscribe to this site, it's $17.28 a month. And you can have access to all the tabs. I'm not going to show all the tabs here, but you can get them all if you sub for $17.28 a month. You can do it right there on the site. There's a coupon, I think, right there on the site. It's constantly being improved. We're always going to be adding, probably always be adding new calculators and stuff because Kong and I are kind of doing it, and we are sort of data heads a little bit. He's the builder. I got a little bit of ideas. I can come up with ideas. So look into ptgc.com, guys. That's where you want to go for this site. And there's free stuff on here though too. And one of them we're going to look at is the dashboard, and it's free. So let's go to the dashboard. I'll pull my screen up, and tons of information, guys. Hey, I'm going to tell you, when I first came into this ecosystem, there was nothing like this. There was nothing. I'm a data head. I'm a nerd. I'm a numbers guy. And we didn't have this. And now we do. So if you're brand new, you're blessed because you're coming straight into data land, especially if you're not a data head person. So yeah, let's get back here. So this is the home page right here, the dashboard home page. I guess you got to do it this way. That's funny. Okay, how many tokens have we burned? 41.4 billion pTGC out of a starting supply of 333 billion. Dude, that's a lot. That's 12.4%. Okay, that's pTGC. Then you got your market metrics down here. 24-hour volume is $79,000. Here's the liquidity. $8.9 million in liquidity, guys. Hello. 352 transactions the last 24 hours. Here's your circulating supply, 291.9 billion. So basically 292 billion. We are 26x away from a penny. We have been as high as 10x to a penny, maybe 6x, I forget. 7-day daily volume average is up 72%. What else do we have? Fee allocation. In the last 24 hours, $4,000 was allocated to the 5 different steps: burning, liquidity, DAO, holder reflections, and staker reflections. $4,000. In the last 180 days, $3.8 million of fees was collected and distributed. And you get paid when you hold these tokens, you're paid out of this fee distribution, just so you know. So the greater the fee allocation, the more you get paid. And something you guys need to understand about when you get paid in these tokens, like, here's the thing. Okay, let's say price is low right now, because it is relative to where it's going. The contract can buy lots of tokens when it buys tokens, because $1 worth of tokens can buy a lot of tokens. But when we do a 10x, that dollar is going to buy 10 times less tokens. But the tokens that you earned in yield today and all the days leading up to that 10x are now worth 10x more. So you have 10 times as many tokens worth, am I overstating it? your 10x tokens are worth 10 times more, something like that. You guys following me? The point is, if you're holding the tokens today and you're stacking up yield day after day after day, and you go off to work and you go clean the garage and you go on vacation, you go live your life, and you're stacking up tokens, while this contract's working for you, people are buying and selling, and your wallet's being, getting piled up with tokens day after day, and then the token does 100x, and all that yield that you earned 100x, So that's the idea, is that patience pays in the grays. So that is pTGC. And here, that's the fee distribution. There's some cool stuff built into this. Let's see if we can, some of this stuff I think you got to log in for. Yeah, this is one of the things you can do, guys, is if you had the paid for account, you can look at the last 280 days, for example, the last 280 days of volume, and then you can overlay the price. And it's very interesting. I will spoil it for you and tell you that volume precedes price. Like, you'll see the volume will go up, and then it'll come down, but then the price goes up right after volume and then comes down. Super cool. So what that it just hits me. So what does that mean? It means that when you see volume slow down and then prices going up, what does that mean? Who can tell me? You're thinking the same thing. I know you are. Just that means it's time to sell, right? When the volume slows down. I mean, if you're going to sell. Yeah, that's where this comes in handy. That is interesting. But I'm not going to, you guys got to sub $17.28 a month. All right, UFO. The thing of it is, guys, I'm not trying to be unkind. It's just that, people pay for that site and I don't want to show it publicly, and, and you guys get it for free and other people pay for it. I mean, I already told you some stuff for free and you're probably going to see some stuff, like some of the calculators I'm going to use are behind the paywall. I'm showing you guys, but some of the stuff, yeah, I just can't. It wouldn't be right, man. UFO has burned 82 billion tokens. Here is the volume, $26,000. Now I'm going to tell you what, guys, that's nothing compared to where we're going and where we've been. We've seen $2.2 million in volume on this little token. It's 26,000 right now. Everything's asleep. I think everybody on Pulse Chain's broke. And we are 399x away from a penny. Here's the fee distribution for the last 24 hours. And then you can also see the same chart for them, for UFO. And then the distribution, you got your $788 for LP providers, 262 to each buy and burn UFO holder rewards, buy and burn PTDC. Okay. All right. Let's do, okay. I think it's time for Perry Banana to take a drink, and then we're going to look at moon map. What do you guys want to do for moon math? If you guys have an opinion on how many X's PTDC can do against Pulse and how many X's Pulse can do, pop it in the chat right now. You guys got to beat me to it. You guys got to be ready for this stuff, man. Keep you on your toes. All right, we're gonna look at the Pulse PTDC pair. I'm always just okay. I think PTDC is up 14x against Pulse right now. I'm gonna put 7 in there. Usually I do 5. I'm going big because I'm only gonna do this one time. I'm not gonna do a low, medium, high. We're gonna put 7 in here, and then we're gonna speculate that. Oh, well, let's do 20x for Pulse. You got it, man. Crypto world, you got it. Okay, so 20x for Pulse. 7x for, okay, but I'm crypto world, I'm insisting on 7x for PTDC. Your 20x, just so you know, I hope it's a little low. Hey, we got to go through 20x. I'll give it to you. We got to go through 20x on our way to 100 or 1,000 though. So yeah, there is that. But if that's where we topped, that'd be sad for Richard Hart. I don't think he's going to accept it. But we're doing 20x. We're going there. We're going there. But I'm going to insist on 7x for PTC against Pulse. So that's going to be a 140x from today's price of PTDC. So you can take that 140 and multiply it times 0.0004, and that'll be your number. What would it be, guys? Does anybody want to guess? 140x from where we are today. We're 30x to a penny. So 34, we're going to be, that's about 4 cents. I think I'm not thinking right. 5 cents, 140x, 5 cent PTDC. Dude, crypto world, that would make so many people happy. I just know it. Yay. Yeah, man. Happy for you. That's awesome. Let's do it. Let's do 20x, dude. That's easy town, man. All right. But I've got the keyboard over here. I'm doing 100x. Ooh, you know what we should do? Which would make it 27 cents. You guys know about Pampy.app? Check this out. Watch this now. Oops. We're going to try a price simulator. Pampy.app, guys. 5 cent PTDC, and I'm super happy. Yeah, man. You and a lot of other people, man. And me, myself included. Yeah. Let's do an even split. What this Pampy.app does, guys, is it simulates putting, the OA, the SAC wallet, SAC money going into onto the chain. And in this illustration, what it does is it splits the SAC money into the 4 core assets. So I'm calculating it right now. And it's saying that if it took the SAC money and put it into Pulse right now, it would be a 2457x on Pulse. All right. So this could happen. I'm not saying it would. I'm not saying it will. I'm not suggesting anything except that it is a possibility. It could happen right now, but it's not up to us. This is all speculation. Okay, 2457x pulse. We can come back to this calculator here. 2457x. 2457x. We're going to tone this down because this is going to be, let's tone this down to a 5. Because it'd be the result on pTGC's price is going to be 5 times 2457, which is going to be a lot. It's going to be in the dollars, $4.67. But look, guys, that's a 12,000x. Come on. I mean, let's be real. We can't do that, can we? Well, that's a 5,000x. So, the possibilities. They're so exciting. That's why we're here. That's why we're in crypto. This is exciting. Lambos, boats, mansions. Giving. How about that? Giving. Tipping generously. Helping out others. Yeah, man. I mean, are we in this world just to consume stuff for ourselves? Yes and no. I mean, the stewardess says, put your mask on yourself first, and then you can help your child. Take care of yourself first, and then help others. That's how it works. Just don't forget that second part. Otherwise, you end up being I won't say it. I don't want to get busted publicly. There should be, Crypto World says, anything you put in this chat is public, just so you know. There would be lots of sell pressure, though. Yeah, I know it. If RH moved, yeah, I know. Yeah. Thank you for reminding me of that. I always forget. I mean, if I think about it long enough, I remember. I know, man. There'd be so many people bailing out. Not entirely, probably, but yeah, people would be taking a profit. Like, it'd be crazy, wouldn't it? Oh, it would actually. It wouldn't be funny. That's why it ain't happening like that. How is it going to happen? I don't know. I don't know how he's going to do this, man. I think he's got his own timeline and his own whatever. I got to get cracking here. All right, so that is. I want to get through 2 more calculators, guys. And the next one is the volume calculator. I call it the volume or the reflections calculator. Okay, something you need to know about pTGC and UFO is the higher the volume, the greater the rewards are going to be. Okay, as we saw on the stats page. Whenever we have higher volume, that means the bots are transacting more, paying more fees, and those fees are flowing to the holders. So we love volatility in the market. And the crypto's volatile, right? And the greatest currencies are built for, sorry. I gotta write this down. I'm writing a book, guys, and I'm like getting ideas. Grays. All right. So we love volatility. The greater the volatility, the more we're getting paid. So this calculator is going to greater volatility, greater the volume, volatility equals volume. I wonder if it goes back. I wonder if it goes both ways. I'll have to think about that. But this calculator right here is the reflections calculator. And like you see that, I gotta log in. The volume today on pTGC or UFO is like $26,000 or something like that. It's really bad. Can I say that and still be a proponent of this ecosystem? Okay. That's like, maybe you know that I'm being truthful here. Yeah, it's like $26,000. Hey, but last summer it was like 5,000, 8,000. It was like, okay, if it's bad now, it was really bad back then. And you guys just saw how our volume is up 8x since August. 8x. Yeah, man. Just imagine where this pulse chain hasn't even run yet.
where are we going when pulse chain runs? I can only imagine. Remember the little experiment we did in ChatGPT? $8 million in volume, and that was toning it down by a 10x. It was on its way to $80 million. Yeah. But somebody else recreate that experiment and see if you come up with a similar scenario from ChatGPT, because that blows my mind. There's nothing like having a history to look back on. That's the problem that we face, is that we haven't been there yet. So we don't, it's all speculation. Okay, so let's get to the reflections calculator. We're going to set it to experimental mode. I'm going to use this little experimental wallet address that I've got. I'm going to pop it in here and calculate the yields based on $5 million in volume. So $5 million in volume would mean, and this is a million pTGC wallet, this would mean 233,000 pTGC coming into that wallet every year. That's really good for if you're holding a million. Okay, here's the value in today's dollars. The annual yield, the annual yield would be $88, which is really good, considering it's only a $382 bag. $7 a month. Now, mind you, that's on tokens that, that's $7 worth of tokens today, which is not very many tokens, which is, okay, it's a lot of tokens. Okay. And then here is some breakdowns. You guys can screenshot this if you want. Like if you hold 300 million tokens and we have $5 million in volume, that would be $71 a day in pTGC. But that's at today's price. You always got to bear that in mind. That would be at any price, actually. But the tokens that you earn today, $72. If they 10x, $7,200. Let's do UFO. Same wallet, same volume, $5 million. And this is a 1 million UFO wallet. It would earn 1.3 million UFO in reflections. That's crazy. Double your bag in less than a year. So that would be an annual yield of $33. Well, the bag is worth $26 right now. You can pick up a million UFO for $26. Yearly yield, $33. Oh, I got to talk to a friend of mine. Why are you waiting to get into this system? These prices are not going to be here much longer. Shark position, $930. 930 million UFO is a shark position. That's $23,000. Your daily yield today would be $81. Dolphin position, and it just goes on. It's all intense. Okay. Oh, let's see. Let's go to the last calculator, which is the locking calculator. Now remember, locking is special versus holding and staking. We just looked at volume, which is holding. We don't have a calculator for staking, really. Although not everybody stakes, not all the tokens are staked. You can see it on the stats page on pulsetgc.com, but not everybody stakes. Most of us do. But where's it going with that? But you earn a little bit more for staking your tokens than you do just for holding them. But you can earn a lot more when you lock them. And here's why. But let me explain to you one more difference between holding, staking, and locking. Is that holding and staking are completely machine, right? or users, like users buying and selling, or the AMM bots balancing pools. But locking, the rewards only come from people when they early end their locks. So it's not machine dependent, it's user dependent. Okay, so let's look at that calculator. Let me get it pulled up. Okay, we are averaging,
Let's look at it. I'm going to show you guys. All right, a little secret here. Total locking yield. Okay, 30-day. This is the 30-day total early end locks. It's 162 million. We have, and this every line goes back 30 days. So at one point, just a few weeks ago, we hit the highest that I have on record, which is over $1 billion. But last year, we averaged every 30-day period. In any 30-day period, we averaged 395 million. Right now, we're at 162 million for the last 30 days. So that's interesting. We're overdue for a big unlock. I'm not going to make any suggestions because I don't want to make any enemies. But let's put 162 into because that's current data. Last year was 395 million. Right now it's 162. I'm going to put this into the calculator. 162. And this is the total global pTGC locked. Let's say you have 100 million. Congratulations, that's like 3 dolphin positions. And then the price is now 50 cents. Let's tone it down a little bit. Let's tone it down to 10 million because that's 4,000. That's $4,000 worth of tokens right there with 10 million. The price though, it shot. So we hit our 1 cent, 10 cent, 50 cent. It's now 50 cents and you're locked up and earning 100% rewards because you went big in your 10-year locks. Oh, and by the way, guys, just so you know, like the worst you can do in locking is a 55%. That's the worst that you get to keep is 55%. That's the 90-day lock. So anything you do above that is going to be greater than 55%. Like my locking strategy, I went heavy on 10-year locks, and then the ladder, and then several 90-day locks. I put it all in a chat GPT. It says, Mr. Prairie Banana, you earned a 96.3%. So I would put 96.3% in here, but I can't do a fraction. So let me just do 96. So in any given 30-day period, if 162 million tokens were emergency unlocked, I had 10 million tokens earning me 96% of all the locking rewards that I could possibly earn. And the price of these tokens is now 50 cents. I would earn $1,673. $1,673. What if you get a $40,000 bag? Well, $16,736. That's something to write home to mom about, I would say. Guys, one last thing. No, I gotta do a couple other things. Like 10 more minutes. Hold on. I'm gonna skip that. How to buy these tokens. Is there anybody in here that needs to know how to buy these tokens? Somebody's gonna watch my stream. They're gonna be like, hey man, how do I buy these tokens? Go to pulsex.com. This takes a second, guys. Pulsex.com, connect your wallet. Set your slippage. If you're buying pTGC, set it to 6%. If you're buying UFO, set it to 7%. Use the auto router, swap from Pulse to pTGC or Pulse to UFO. And then when you're done, once you got the tokens in your wallet, reset your slippage to like 1%, whatever. I need to change that, man. And then you'll have your tokens. Okay, that's how you buy. Simple, simple, simple. Join the Space Force. If you guys are into marketing, I know many of you are, join the Space Force. You can get this beautiful, attractive gold ring around your profile picture. Just upload your current profile picture, position it around, inside this gold circle, and then download it. There's some ugly mugs in there, myself included. And then you will help promote the Grace currencies throughout YouTube, Twitter, and Telegram. So do that if you would, please, sir and ma'am. Follow pulsetgc.com. Or Pulse, not PulseTGC. Follow Pulse. I gotta get the thing in there. Follow the Grays account, okay, on Twitter, and then repost, especially those AI videos that we're making. Repost those. Only here's how you do it to help the algorithm. When you repost, let me just show you guys. I've got to show you. Come on. You guys are being really patient, I hope. All right, hold on. Show you guys how to do this. If you don't know already, but like if I was going to repost this, I already reposted that one. If I was going to repost this right here, select repost, quote post, and then write something like say anything positive, and then put the hashtags. Anything positive, enter, put the hashtags, okay, and then post it. And that helps the algorithm promote that post and draw people's attention to it. Okay, so do that. We got to get loud. These tokens are meme coins. They're memeable. Okay, they're not technically meme coins because they do have exceptional value, but we are attractive to meme coin people. And when they come over here, they can have the best of the Pulse chain in a meme coin, the attractive logo and all that stuff. And then they discover it has utility under the hood. Always do crypto from a hardware wallet. Never give anybody your seed phrase. Guys, be safe out there. I'm the Prairie Banana in Telegram and on Twitter. If anybody DMs you and they claim to be the Prairie Banana, it's probably not me. I will probably not DM you first. Okay, guys, just be very careful out there. Don't give anyone your seed phrase. Crypto is very serious. We're going into a cycle, and I don't want you guys to be wrecked. We're going to get wrecked. So that's it. Any questions, comments, pictures of family? We've been at it for an hour and 41 minutes. I think we're done. Guys, have a great week. Spaces tomorrow at 5:30 p.m. Pacific. Voice chat with the founder on Tuesday. We'll do this presentation again on Wednesday at like 9 a.m. Pacific. Other than that, guys, have a great evening. And if you know somebody that's new to the Grays, you can send them over here and I can walk them through and teach them how to hold their tokens and all that happy good stuff. So guys, it has been fun. Have a great night. See ya.